Hey, it's me, Kate Flannery. Meredith from the office. Hey. Yeah, my friends at Brooklyn FI have asked me to pass along some critical information for the new year. Yeah, don't be like me and wait till the last second, 3 margaritas deep. Get your tax documents uploaded to your portal by February 15th. And then Brooklyn FI will be set up for success to file your tax return by April 15th. Yeah, just do it. Seriously. I mean, this isn't casual day. If you do it, who knows? Maybe you'll get a refund and I'll give you a Dundee. Or not. Yeah, don't leave them hanging. Upload all your tax items to your checklist by February 15th. That's the deadline. Just do it. That's what she said.
Thank you, Meredith. Wow, that was an amazing cameo. So, for those of you that are fans of the show The Office, you know there's nothing better than a "That's What She Said" joke. So, I was happy that she was able to fit it in. That's what she said. All right, enough with the comedy from me. On to tax and tax season. So, the purpose of this video is to give you a very quick introduction and kind of explain to you what you should be expecting from us and what we are going to be expecting from you during this tax season. So, by way of introduction, my name is Dan Beyer. I'm a CPA and I am the Director of Tax here at Brooklyn FI. And I would also like to introduce you to our wonderful team. So, our team consists of Shane Mason. He is the co-founder, or one of the co-founders of Brooklyn FI. He's also a CPA, decade of experience, knows his stuff in and out. Tiffini Parker is another one of our CPAs and tax managers. This is her second year here. And Ed Zolotarev, he is one of our tax managers, also a decade of experience. He also has a CFP designation, which is really cool, brings a lot to the table. So those are the 3 or 4 people that you will likely be hearing from the most, whether it be asking you questions, requesting more documentation, responding to your emails. It's going to be one of us 4 most likely that you hear from. Now, also on our team, you might hear from Hannah West. She's the operations manager. She might be following up with you saying, hey, we requested this information. Can you please send it? Or just following up with you on various tasks. Ethan and Sarah are first-year tax associates. They've been with Brooklyn FI now for about 6 months. Great talent, and they will be working on your returns behind the scenes. So while you may not hear from them directly, you might see that they're copied in on emails and things like that because they do help us out with the preparation side of things. And then Kelsey is a senior tax associate. This is her second year here, and she's going to be stepping into the reviewing role. So she might be also asking you some questions as far as can you send us this documentation, or what did you mean by this on your organizer, things like that. So that's the tax team. You'll hear from any one of us on any things to point out. So there's 2 main categories of data that we need from you. Okay, those 2 categories are generally we need your organizer, okay, or we need your tax documents. So the organizer can be found within your Intuit Practice Management checklist. So you go to your email, click on the checklist, it brings you to this page. So once you click on this link here, it says fill out your organizer. Click on that organizer link, and you'll be brought to this Cognito form, which has a bunch of questions that you need to fill out. A lot of them are yes or no questions. A lot of them are just fill in the blank. If you were with us last year, you filled one of these out, we're going to need you to fill it out again. So what we've done this year to change the process is if you're an existing client, you can skip a lot of the questions, and we have done that automatically for you. If you're a new client, you can see here there's 19 pages. A lot of them are just very quick. There's might be 3 questions on a page, okay? And then scattered throughout, you'll see there are some cool memes. So for those of you that are fans of memes, I think there's about 6 or 7 of them in here, so feel free to enjoy those. So one of the cool things about these Cognito forms is that it saves your progress. So as you're going through it, if you've got questions that you need to talk to your spouse about, or you just want to research, you can save, close, come back to it and you can pick off exactly where you left off. So really cool tool. And like I said, each and every one of you is going to be filling this out. The next thing I wanted to chat about is the sending us documents category. So this is the second category I mentioned earlier. So always, always, always you want to submit your documents through this encrypted link. Okay, you don't want to email us documents. It's not encrypted, it's not protected. Someone hacks into your email, they're going to be able to access your social security number, all your income information, and whatnot. So always use this encrypted checklist. So one of the new processes for us this year is that we are going to be creating a customized checklist for each and every one of you. So how that's going to look is there will be a section here that says, hey, upload your W-2 from Robinhood or Asana or Snowflake or whatever company you work for. It'll be tailored to your specific situation. So if you went through the year-end planning meeting, you were exposed to this spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet, it outlines all of the documents and accounts that you have and what we're expecting for your 2022 tax returns. So, if you worked at Robinhood, of course, you're expecting a W-2. If you had a couple small investment accounts at Chase, Robinhood, and Wealthfront, we're going to need those interest income documents, dividend income documents, and so on. So the checklist will have all of that broken out for you. All right. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about are deadlines for this tax season. So we have a web page. It's brooklynfi.com/2023, and it gives you an outline of the deadlines. So if you scroll towards the bottom, there's something like 20 deadlines here, but really there's 3 big dates that you should keep in mind. Okay, the first one is sign your engagement letter. So for those of you that have not signed an engagement letter yet, the deadline is January 31st. Now, all that is just an agreement that says, hey, you authorize us to do the tax returns on your behalf, and you're going to be submitting the data to us, and we're going to rely on the data you give us, and just legalese like that. The second deadline is the February 15th deadline. Okay, so what you might be thinking, what happens if I submit late? Well, what happens if I submit March 1st, for example? So if you submit after February 15th, we reserve the right to put your tax return on extension. So all that is you've got extra time to file. So during our extension time, we will recommend a payment to be made. If you went through the year-end planning process, that number is already known to you, right? It would have been the number that we recommended you pay in. So all we're doing here is we're requesting from the IRS and the various states that say, hey, we don't have everything ready yet. We would like to file a little bit later. And the extension allows us to do that. So if you file an extension, we can file as late as October 15th. Now we're going to do everything we can to file before April 15th. But we like to compare tax season to a traffic jam. So if you're driving down the road, there's an accident on the side of the street that just happened. If you're on February 15th, you could compare that to being the first or second car in the line of the traffic jam. You're going to get through pretty quickly, no problem. If you submit your documents February 28th, you're towards the end of the traffic jam. So you're going to be waiting a while to get through. And that could be that you submit your documents February 25th and you don't get your tax returns until April 1st, just because we've got such a crazy backlog that there's just so many people ahead of you now because you waited a while to submit your documents, and we just don't have the bandwidth to get to your return right away. So we're going to do our best to get through all the work, but we do reserve the right to put you on extension. So the last big deadline is October 15th. So if you are on extension, no problem. There's no increased audit risk or anything like that. It's just simply an extra time to file. And you have until October 15th to file. So we'll be in touch a bunch throughout the summer, throughout the late spring to say, hey, we're waiting on these 2 documents. Are they ready yet? And, you might get some annoying follow-ups from us. They're automatically generated. Sorry about that. But just do your best to get us your documents as early as possible. It'll allow for us to file your returns timely and, of course, accurately. So if you've got any questions, this is the email here to send an email to. So support@brooklynfi.com. Hannah monitors that email. She'll tag a tax manager in depending on what type of question it is. So any questions you've got, send it here and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. All right, thanks everyone. Have a good tax season. Bye.